let's go with Nathaniel from Stanford. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks for taking my call, Officer Tatum. I'm a huge Trump supporter. There's so many positives about President Trump, I don't even know where to begin. But I think the most important and best attribute he has is how strongly he backs the blue. No other president has backed the blue like he does. And I think the best display of that is when at the rallies that he holds, at the start of the rallies, he plays the Star-Spangled Banner, the rendition done by the J6 hostages. And about half of those hostages, they're in there because they beat the living crap out of Capitol police officers. But they're great patriots, and they're going to get pardoned. Do you support that? He's really backing the blue.
Well, Nathaniel, thanks so much for the call. Here's my thoughts on that. I think that people at the Capitol, not all of them were innocent. If you physically assaulted a police officer, you need to go to jail. That is assault on a police officer. I don't care if you're a Trump supporter or not. I don't think anything that they did was heroic at all, but I see why they were upset, and I see why people wanted to protest. And so I really don't support people that actively assaulted a police officer. Now you go beyond that, people that just walked in, they were guided in by the police. They did not use force against anybody to be in there. If they were asked to leave, it's trespassing, and they should be arrested for trespassing. But some of the stories that I'm hearing is completely a separate conversation than what Nathaniel was talking about, is that some people seem to not even be there. It ended up getting investigated by the FBI and going to jail. So if there's anybody in that circumstance that was there, that didn't do anything, that's innocent, that wasn't a part of it, that's just getting lumped in for political reasons, that is wrong. I think it's really clear. I know that Nathaniel, it sounds like Nathaniel wants to call in and troll. There's no reason to troll. Nobody supports a person fighting a police officer. The Capitol Police had to stand their ground, and if you fought a police officer to try to breach the Capitol, you need to go to jail for assault on a police officer, which is a felony. Period. But at the end of the day, with all of that being said, it wasn't an insurrection. Why can't we walk and chew gum at the same time and say, yeah, did you swing on a police officer? Did you throw a bottle at a police officer? Did you physically get in an altercation with a police officer? Okay, you go to jail for the crimes consistent with you fighting a Capitol police officer. Did you go into the Capitol building knowingly and intentionally after being asked to leave and remained on the inside of the Capitol building? That's trespassing. You're going to get arrested for trespassing. I love your zeal, but you got to go to jail. That's for anybody that breaches the Capitol building, that assault police officers. You got to go to jail. Now, if you feel like your cause is worthy enough, do what you got to do and go to jail. And don't cry about it. Martin Luther King didn't cry. They did what they did, and they went to jail. Nobody was sad for him, whatever. They made a point. This Capitol stuff, and then, people like Nathaniel, they can't compartmentalize. The brain doesn't work right for them. They want me to say, everybody that committed a crime should get out. I do think people that were overcharged, illegitimately charged, should be pardoned. Just like I would feel like if a Democrat was in some predicament and it wasn't right, pardon a person. The end. I don't think every January 6th person, because I don't know exactly what everybody was doing. If you somehow concocted a plan to go and breach the Capitol, you're going to go to jail for a long time, rightfully so. You can't plan to overthrow the government. If that's what you did, you need to go to jail. And I don't think people that did that should be pardoned. If you plan to overthrow the government in some coordinated effort, then you should not be pardoned. You should go to jail. But if you're Sally Mae and you just so happen to be there protesting and you went into the Capitol building because the police officers let you in the side door, and you went to jail over that, your stuff should be erased. You should be pardoned. Because the only reason they did any of this stuff is because it was Donald Trump supporters, and it was an election talking point that they are still using to this day. All right. Hopefully I have somebody smart that disagree with me and call in. 844-900-7243. 844-900-7243. Call in. I would love to hear from you, especially if you disagree with me. Don't be a coward and call in and be like, Tatum, if Trump is a good man, but he's a murderer. Don't call my show being stupid. We grown, man. If you disagree, just ask the question and present your disagreement. People are crazy. Call in the show. Brandon, I'm smart, man. Listen, I was born during the day. I wasn't born yesterday. I know when you're calling and trolling. But at the end of the day, a grown man with his testes that have dropped, that have hit puberty, should be able to call in on the show and say, hey, hello, Mr. Tatum. I disagree with you on these points. Let me lay out my fact pattern. I don't have to be sarcastic and try to, I got you. You're not going to get me. I'm way smarter than that. All right, continue to talk about some news. Stephen A. Smith made his little